Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to play Ezreal AD carry in Season 11, guys. While teaching you guys Ezreal, we're also going to be watching a very specific player. This guy is Fnatic Upset. He's a challenger, has about 1,278 LP right now, and he's literally taking over solo queue with Ezreal by his side, guys. Today we're going to be watching him, and I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot of stuff about Ezreal as well. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, first of all, the setup that this man is playing with is Conqueror on the main keystone, while also having Presence of Mind, while having Bloodline, Coup de Grace, Biscuit Delivery, with Magical Footwear, having Attack Speed, AD, and Armor. He also takes a Doran's Blade as a starter. I definitely recommend taking a Doran's Blade in pretty much 95% of all the games that you play as a starter item. Technically, you can also use Doran's Shield, but it really depends on the matchup. Usually, you just want to go Doran's Blade with Ezreal. Also, for the skill order, this man is maxing out his Q first, then maxing out his E, and then maxing out his W as last. He also takes Cleanse as his summoner spell because of the amount of CC that the enemy team has. They have a Leona, so having a Cleanse is pretty good. Otherwise, you might want to consider Heal or Exhaust instead, depending on whether the enemy team has like a lot of CC or maybe assassins like Zed or something like that. But usually, you just want to take Cleanse or Heal. Pretty much standard. And as for the entire full build, guys, I'm going to leave the entire full build of Ezreal inside of the description below. So with that being said, let's actually get into the laning phase, guys. Now, immediately starting off in this lane, Seth's actually fighting the support right now. You just look at how Ezreal is like kind of positioning himself backwards so that the enemy AD carry doesn't get to fully focus him. Now, something I want to quickly note here. As this fight here went on, Ezreal lined up backwards to this brush right here, and basically what that did is every time he put an auto into the enemy support, the minions would not necessarily focus Ezreal because Ezreal was already walking that way, so a majority of the creeps right here was not able to hit Ezreal. And this is why they actually won this incredibly hard. It was because of the minion difference. This is huge. Now, a couple things to note about Ezreal, guys. Mainly, you want to force your opponents to be in a position where you can always hit a Q, right? Because one way to counter Ezreal is by standing behind creeps. So when you play Ezreal, try to force the enemy opponents into a position where you can land your Qs, right? For instance, they are being pushed into the turret right now. He tried to land like another Q to actually hit. As you guys can see, like just by pushing down that lane, it's far easier to actually hit a Q. Now in this case, he actually pushed down the wave so he could go back port to base. He's buying the tier right here. Definitely recommend you guys getting a tier on Ezreal. It's currently pretty broken. Ezreal is, I believe, the second highest win rate of the entire game right now, or at least very close to it. He's very strong currently. Anyways, he also took a longsword with a dagger. Okay, so there's currently 2 people going bot. This is going to end up in a 3v2. Look at the way how Ezreal's going to play it out. Walks up to it. Keep in mind that your W flies over the creeps. Misses the Q though. So anyways, currently the way how this lane is being positioned right now is actually pretty good. The jungler has to go back now, but either way, Leona is about 50% health right now. Basically, the best possible scenario here would be having Jhin and Leona kind of being pressured in so that Ezreal can land the Qs far better, right? Ezreal is currently pushing the lane really hard to actually get it into like a favored position for his Q. Gotta keep in mind though, there's actually like a deep ward in the enemy jungle, which shows where the jungle is going to be if the enemy jungle ganks. Ezreal is like constantly like standing like behind the creeps. Every time that Set is going to engage for Leona and Jhin, Ezreal is always being positioned perfectly, so he doesn't actually get like all the minion aggro on him. He's going for another push right now. This is because like Graves is also on the way right now. He's about to flank bot lane from behind. So having this lane being pushed in allows them to actually dive Jhin and Leona under the turret. Look at this. This is very good, right? Having the lane being pushed in while also being ganked by your jungler. This allows for perfect like dive opportunities. Perfectly sidestepping Leona's E. So far, really good ganks by Graves, but a majority of like the ganks that Graves has done has performed really well because of Ezreal like setting up the lane in a perfect position to like actually make it very gankable, you know? Having the lane push into the turret so that the gank is more successful, that they can actually dive. So he went for the Sheen. Guys, I definitely recommend getting a Sheen if you're going for the Trinity build. Now, Ezreal currently has two type of builds that most people are running. Now, this man in specific, he's actually like kind of like swapping between the Trinity Force and Divine Sunder. Now, if you are kind of unsure what to actually build currently, they are both equally as good. It just kind of depends on the game itself, like the matchups being played. Generally, like Trinity Force is always a good item on Ezreal. Divine Sunder is being built specifically into certain games. For example, when they have like a bunch of tanks. He can put the lane into like a slow push. He has to be very careful right now because the team is taking down the dragon. Jhin and Leona are currently missing so far. It would actually be so funny if they would have left the game. Currently so far they're not showing up here. Now he can begin to take the turret. Leona is currently trying to roam to mid lane. Because Jhin is already losing like that hard. Even if Leona stays in the lane with Jhin, then all that Ezreal and Set has to do is basically like pushing down the lane once again, poking them down on the turret, and eventually like setting up a lane for a gank as well. This is why it's kind of pointless for Leona to be in the lane currently. As you guys can see here, because of the way how the early game has been played out, Jhin and Leona doesn't stand a chance anymore. This game is literally being played to perfection both by Ezreal and Graves and the support. All that's left to do right now, as long as they keep the entire jungle being warded like properly, knowing exactly when where the jungler is, they can just keep on like pushing down that lane while getting those platings. He gets a Trinity Force at 8 minutes in the game, guys. That's so early. 8 minutes in the game while already having a tier, while already having a longsword, including the magical footwear. So the only thing left to do now, the main objective right now, is to take down that tier 3 turret as quickly as possible. As soon as they get that turret down, Ezreal can swap back to top lane and then finish off that lane as well. That's the main objective here right now. Ezreal does not have to freeze. He does not have to do anything. All that's left to do now is constantly pushing down that lane back into the turret, so he can land the free Qs, but also being able to like roam through the map while keeping the pressure onto Jhin. There's currently a massive fight in the enemy jungle. They're already winning that one. Now in this scenario, if they were actually going even out, Ezreal could have pushed down the lane and then roamed down there afterwards. roaming because of the pressure. Set is currently on the way, so this is pretty much free for Ezreal. They cannot turn because Set is also on the way. Ezreal could kite back if they even if they fight, so this leaves for like a very, very good start. Now that they actually got the turret, Ezreal can push down the next wave afterwards. Probably back off to lane and then go top lane to take the turret down there as well. They could also go mid. So guys, generally, this is kind of the way how you want to be playing Ezreal. Positioning, like lane positioning and everything, is very important with Ezreal because otherwise, it's you can't land those Qs at all. Nearly takes down the Jhin again. The supports can roam right now. Even if Leona is bot lane, Ezreal can just play safe until she goes away again. In a 1v1 position, like Ezreal can take down Jhin quite easily. Oh, he's got a sidestep. He actually went down. All right. That was kind of unfortunate. You see, guys, he just finished off the Mana Moon. Now he can go top, right? Instead of going bot lane and farming out everything there, the best possible thing to do now as an AD carry is to go top lane. You take down the bottom turret, you swap to top lane, you try to push down that turret, and then afterwards you keep rotating, right? You want to like constantly rotate lanes after taking a turret so you can get them down quickly. That's the strength of AD carries. Very well E right there. It's only a matter of just cutting them down right now. Ezreal's like fed enough. His Qs are doing like 300 to 500 damage each. They are now getting the top turret as well, spawning the hero with it. They can push at least to the tier 2 turret, then back off after. They could even back off now because the dragon is currently alive. Having the hero push down top lane, and then rotating back to the dragon. He just bought the plated steel caps, and this is an extremely useful item specifically for this game because they have a Kayn, Fiora, Jhin, and Leona. He doesn't need mercs for this game because he already has cleanse to run out of the CC of Leona. So if the entire team groups up at Dragon right now and takes that as well, that's going to push them really far ahead. So far, Ezreal has managed to take down a bottom turret, a top turret, and the dragon right now. And he's about to win this fight here as well. Takes him down. So far he won about 2 lanes, as well as getting the dragon, and is now going to take the mid lane turret as well. Constantly trying to get more objectives, guys. Now he can take down the turret. Tries to land like a free Q onto Jhin. Nearly takes him down. Now he has the turret as well. He can just continue to push. They just need to. If the only thing that Ezreal needs now is having the team to actually group up and push as quickly as possible. Like the advantage of Ezreal is so huge right now that literally the only thing that's left to do is actually pushing down that lane. And getting the objectives as quickly as possible. There's no need for the team to farm up right now. The only guy that needs to farm now is the top lane on the side lanes. Look at the way how Ezreal's like constantly positioning himself, right? There's a massive fight, holding his E until the very last second when the fight turns out to be easy. Don't ever like use your E too early on when things could go different, because champions like Kayn can easily chase you down. Takes him down as well. This man plays Ezreal in such a clean way, guys. This is exactly the way how you should be playing this champion. Before proceeding to go back to base, trying to like take as many jungle camps as you can, guys. I say this so often. It allows you to get the farm, but also make the enemy jungler fall behind as well. It's pretty huge. Now I can get back to base. He can buy the next item. Now it seems pretty interesting, believe it or not, but this man is always building a Blade of the Rune King. It might sound really strange, as you don't really see that many Ezreal players currently building it, but this man is always going for Trinity Force into, you know, having the tier, going into Blade of the Rune King. Just kiting down this jungler. He doesn't even focus him anymore. Q is gonna take him down too. Now I can actually purchase the Blade of the Rune King as well. The only thing left to do now is having the team to push mid. After pushing mid, rotating to Baron, taking that, and then going back to mid and push and finish. So he got the Trinity Force, having the Blade of the Rune King. Also has the Muramana with the Bladed Steel Caps. He already has a Lifesteal Scepter ready. He's probably going to get the Bloodthirst afterwards, something like that. There's a lot of options you have for the final items. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Bloodthirster. It's only when you're like really, really fed. Since he already has Blade. Gets another catch. If you see like a catch, if you see like a possible kill that you can take, always give it a try. As long as there's no important objectives, it's always worth getting catches. Super clean sidestep on the VR too. They completely chases down that Fiora. Alright, she's about to go down. He will have E in now. Yeah, he's gonna go down. She's actually lasting for a long time. Okay, the only thing left to do now is pushing mid, then rotate towards the dragon, and then rotate back to mid, and then push that out as well. Like, believe it or not, but pushing mid lane allows you to do like a lot of stuff, specifically the objectives around it. By pushing mid lane, you create space over the map, giving your team like a chance to rotate. By doing it like this, the enemy team does not have a chance to get to the dragon because the wave is already pushing mid. They would have to take that first, or they would have to ignore it and still try, but then you might have already got it. Aatrox could group up with the team now as well to take down the turret. Anyways, guys, this is pretty much how you play Ezreal AD carry in Season 11. Watching this man specifically. Anyways, hopefully I've been able to help out. Also, if you guys are looking for a challenger, like a challenger play to watch, like me, for instance, I'm streaming like 6 times a week, streaming high elo games. So don't forget to check out my stream, guys. There will be a link inside the description. Once again, streaming pretty much every day. But anyway, hey, thank you for watching today, and I'll catch you guys up in the next one. Peace.